These two words we're going to be talking about this morning, right? As they reflect on our lovely city that is Port Harcourt. So, a lout is a person who is considered to be rude, awkward, and lacking refinement or manners. A better word would be he's uncouth, right? He's uncouth. That's a lout, right? He is uncouth, right? He's uncouth, right? Okay. Now, a tout is a person who solicits business or customers in an aggressive or annoying manner. Let me repeat that. A tout is a person who solicits business or customers in an aggressive or annoying manner. Example, the tout on the street corner was trying to convince me to buy tickets to see Bole and Fish Festival. Right? That's an example. Right? Good. Now, in Nigeria lingo, right, the tout is area boy, agbero or agburu. Basically, rowdy, loud, and uncouth, similar to the lout, right? But another definition of the word tout, right, is to point out, to express, or to give information about something. For example, all right, Jude is touting that Kennedy will become the next CEO of Jude International Oil Company. This man is touted as being the forebearer of his party's election in the next year's cycle, right? That's another definition, talking about tout. But as it relates to Port Harcourt this morning, we're talking about lout versus tout. Now, it is my view that if we go by the very first definition of lout, which simply means somebody who is uncouth, who is rough, aggressive. Interestingly, the definition I have here, in fact, one definition I have here says, lout simply means uncouth, rough, aggressive, man or boy. Man or boy. Lout. Man or boy. And then earlier on I said, a lout is a person who is considered to be rude, awkward, lacking in refinement and manners. He's such a lout at the dinner table, chewing loudly and burping. Some people even fart at the dining table, right? He's a lout. Now, please hear me out on this one. I know Rivers people are very angry with the Agboros everywhere on the streets, but hear me out. If we go by this definition, it then may mean or could mean that some of your local government chairmen, some of your heads of task forces and whatnot, some of your senators or Senate representatives, some of your reps, some of your DGs, some of your PMs, some of your CPs, some of your PROs fall into this category. Once again, a lout simply means somebody who is uncouth, rough, aggressive, a man or a boy. And then, to make this even more interesting, some of the touts in the local Nigeria have found themselves in the positions or in the corridors of power in this state. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how can the lout and tout problem, because there are two different things, but they're also a problem in this state, how can they be curbed? Is our conversation starter.
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
PH at Nigeriainfo. PH WhatsApp is 08090306416. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning to you.
Hi, Jude. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you, Jude. This is Miriam.
Welcome, Miro.
Look, Jude, it's so funny how the white man, tries to manipulate us with words. And then when you look at these words, they almost have the same letters and then sound different in different ways and sounding the same way and it's just similar and almost having the same meaning. Now, Jude, how can we curb this? It's been very unfortunate, just like most of these people are in fact, they are majority of them are the people that are within the corridors of power. And that's why they are so uncomfortable with the current governor because he seems to be very, very, in fact, it's almost like the opposite of who they are. And then if you don't conduct yourself in that manner, in this stoutish and wildish manner, it's almost impossible for you to do politics in this. And it's very unfortunate. Without the COVID, Jude, I cannot say we should regulate this. No, we shouldn't. We cannot regulate something that is not even right in the first place. So I think it's total elimination. If there is a way we can put an end to it. But after you, when the people that even do it are those that are in the corridors of power, so how would they stop it? And their boys are out there, doing the job that they did before. They are, how would I call them? Millions, both times, So what do we do, Jude?
Well, that's that's the big question, Miro. What do we do? Because yes, some of them, like you said, they're not the ones who are going to be posturing as leaders in parties. They're the ones posturing as leaders in communities. So how do we curb it?
I cannot say we should put them under one organization, maybe say call them and then they can now begin to garnish it and begin to see a way to make it seem good. No. What is bad job? So I think total end to it. And we should continue to speak against it. When we speak against it, those on the board, if the forces, set up forces, what they call it, they are making set up zone and but even if you set up security acts to control them, the security act is now become them eventually. Because they say if you want to beat them, join them. And so I don't really know, but we need to at least get a start, set up these organizations to stop them.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Miro. Miro says we need to get some organizations to start to stop them, to stem the tide. Last week, and I think was it last week or even yesterday or last week? There was a caller who said, "Look, Jude, it seems as though the whole place in Port Harcourt is filled with agburu, aka touts." Once again, the touts phrase is used, or word rather, is used in the Nigerian context, aka Nigerian lingo, as the person who stands on the road, who causes trouble, or who's trying to collect forcefully, by the way, monies from people. But generally, the lout, that's the English term, is a person who is uncouth. You see, it's very interesting that the words, while sounding similar, are different, right? But they are usually interchanged. Once again, if you just join us, a lout simply means somebody who is uncouth, rough, aggressive, usually a man or a boy, someone that is just a hair. So, like I said, tout is Nigerian English, Inglibo in Nigeria. But whether the person is on the streets or not, right? The lout is a general term because, like I said, some of these louts are have been your leaders, your caretaker chairman, your youth community leader, your DG. Once again, somebody who is uncouth, rough. Emphasis on the word uncouth, meaning the person is unrefined. The person is not able to control his emotions in public. Ladies and gentlemen, Port Harcourt beckons on you. We'll be back after this break. of 9 o'clock. Message, Jew, good morning. Please look at this name. Could you help me check if any of these persons fit this tout and lout that we're talking about? I want to check something. You see, you people will not put me in trouble. No. This guy has just sent me a list of some very interesting names, all right? And you want me to call the names out so that you people not ask whether this person is a tout, that's Nigerian English, right? He's a tout or he's a lout. Once again, which I've tried to explain is the proper term. Now, both terms are actually in the English dictionary, and tout, right? Like I said earlier on, let me get another definition for you just in case you missed it, all right? To tout means to sell something, typically by direct or persistent approach, all right? So Jude was touting bole and fish. Yes, that's make it persistent that you ahead. Sometimes it's rude. Now, in the British version, that's in the noun, a person who buys tickets to an event to resell them at a profit. Now, those of you, how I wish NG Kalela was with me this morning. You know, she has visited some of the stadiums in Europe, and you know, there's something called scalp tickets. You know, when people buy tickets for the Europa Champions League final, for example, or the FA Cup final, for example, they may buy it at maybe £200 or maybe £70, but they will sell it to you at maybe 350, 400, 500, depending on the sitting position that is on that ticket. So that's what a tout is, you know, someone who buys tickets. Now, in the Nigerian English, right, the Nigerian lingo, right, the tout is the unruly person. The tout, you know, is a person who is soliciting for employment or persisting in an annoying manner. You see them at the bus terminals, all right, early in the morning, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, if you're going to Lagos. Bros, enter here, Lagos, don't worry, enter here. They carry you. Can you calm down? You're confusing me. But every day, we see them in Port Harcourt. Now, the reason why we're talking about the Port Harcourt scenario is that the complaints have become, you know, synonymous with Port Harcourt. People now say that when you come into Port Harcourt has now become the tout capital of this country. I don't like to believe that because I've visited Lagos. You know, I don't think so. I've also visited, you know, Ibadan. So I'm not quite sure that, you know, Port Harcourt feels into that shoe, that mode. However, it is a very disturbing scenario, particularly in the past few months. Everywhere, it seems as though my one is their headquarters. In fact, from my one, right, all the way down to Rumokoro, there are groups. They've metamorphosized. They are not community boys. Some say they are not community boys. Some say that they are criminal gangs. Some say, in fact, one person even called a while ago and said, no, that these people, they come from out of state. And they come and, you know, they harass drivers, yada, 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 yada. The Agboro, you know, phenomenon. But, once again, let me now read, just in case you join us, the definition of a lout. Please listen, a lout. A lout simply means someone who is uncouth, who is rough and aggressive. Someone who is uncouth, who is rough and aggressive. Now, if that is the definition of a lout, all right, if I let me get another interesting definition for us this morning, hold on, just hold on. Somebody sending me a message, just hold on, all right. Let me read once again. It's a very interesting definition of a lout. A lout is a person who is considered to be rude, awkward, lacking in refinement or manners. And then I asked, if we're to go by this definition, ladies and gentlemen, is it not possible that some of your local government chairmen, your youth leaders, your political party stalwarts, your DGs, your even governors, you know, heck, anybody can fit into this mode? Now, if that is true, ladies and gentlemen, how can we help Port Harcourt?
The views and opinions shared on this program do not represent the position of Nigeriainfo FM. Nigeriainfo, let's talk.
Oh, that's a drop call scenario. Apologies. Do call back 017923 0002 017923 0007. We're talking about louts and touts in Port Harcourt. How can it be curbed? Whether it's the lout behavior, that's uncouth behavior, or the tout, that's the agboro behavior, very predominantly seen in these parts. Calm down, people. Calm down. Can I take one call at a time? Hello, 92.3. Good morning.
Mr. Zion from Port Harcourt, good morning to you.
Good morning.
We just need a legislation to deal with this issue.
Really? Is that bad?
Is that bad? These guys are causing more harm.
Which of the guys? The louts or the agboro?
Louts or the touts?
Both of them.
No matter the definition you bring into this our environment, they are one.
They are one.
They are one thing.
Yeah. So wait, Zion, are you saying that some CCC chairmen or local government chairmen are also agboros?
20 years how some of them talk already. Some of them even be a PhD, they are graduates, they are this and that. Look at their conduct, look the way they talk. Insulting your governor. I have 500 million I can pay. Challenging, talking careless. Look at their actions and conduct.
Wow.
You have a governor of a state. By definition, the governor is overall. But look at their action towards the governor.
So how can we? You are saying that only legislation can show, but it's not possible for those legislation or that legislature to become abusive or maybe even stifling of free speech.
No. When you talk about free speech, do you know sometimes I'm very vocal on air? Maybe don't listen to my political discussions. Sir, tune into some of my professional discourse on other platforms internationally. Sir, let's be honest to you. We are talking about your loud or touts. We are talking about an approach that is threat to the conduct of good character.
To good character.
That conduct that perceived to be a tyrannical, despotic in nature.
Okay.
That is what we're talking about.
So legislation for you is the way to go. Chase them.
Do you know that in most of these people, communities benefit from them?
But that's so okay. So that's the problem. Zion, what you are saying, right? This is your testimony, right? What you are saying is that if we have a legislation, right, that means those communities who are benefiting from it will be affected.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, we have a man of the people, you probably will be hearing from him later on this day from about 3 p.m. Kalada is on the line. He says this thing, he cannot let it go. He cannot let it. Let's get say hello to Kalada. Kalada, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Yes,
good morning.
Good morning. The man of the people is in the house. Join us on our Port Harcourt conversations. Kalada, they said that some of your people, your constituents, are louts. They are aggressive. They are rude. They are uncouth. They are basically agberos. How do you respond to this, Kalada?
Like the definition. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can, please.
Okay, so like the definition you've put out, loud, aggressive, uncouth, it's basically the opposite of the gentleman. So if you're looking at it from the English culture, I beg your pardon, the English is very high on the gentleman. You have to have certain attributes to be called a gentleman. So whoever is not in the gentleman's club is seen as a street person. Do some of these people in high places have the quality of a lout or a tout or an agbero? Yes, they do. I mean, we've seen people who jump through gates to get into the hallowed chamber.
Wow.
We've seen people use maze. I'm not going to go into details. So yes, some of these people have even some of our callers. The reason why I want to join the conversation is some of our callers have these aggressive nature, so it's no wonder we have people in high places who behave the manner that they do. So yeah, that's what it is for me.
So the amount of people have spoken that, yes, yeah, some people, who are in the corridors of power could also fall into that category. But Canada, as a Port Harcourt boy, as Port Harcourt man, how can this trend be reversed, particularly in the context of our streets being safe from the Agboro phenomenon?
So, like you rightly mentioned, I tried talking about this when I came back from leave. It's something that's been in the system, not just Rivers State, in the Nigerian system for such a long time. Rotimi Amechi as governor tried to stop it. I hear Abia State, the current Abia State governor, Alex Oti, has found a way to stop it. I'm not very certain. I do think the first thing that should happen is social orientation. Because, I mean, going back to the English yet again, it was an orientation. Everybody wanted, I don't know about now, but everybody at the time, back in history, wanted to be a gentleman. People were struggling to go into the gentleman's club.
Yeah.
So I think it's something that is more of a social orientation, where we give the orientation in rural communities that, being aggressive does not make you the boss. Being smart makes you the boss. Being intelligent makes you the boss. Being cultured makes you... even right now, with the kind of politics we play in Rivers State, it is who is more aggressive. I saw videos trending. I'm yet to investigate. I think it was the University of Port Harcourt, where we saw boys being uncouth once again, using weapons and fighting. And it seems like, that's what makes them the number one on the street. That's what makes them, everybody's attracted to them. Everybody's drawn to them. But if we go back to, we live in a society where we mock people who are cultured. So you hear things like, na Jebo now, na Juman, you don't know anything. So we live in a society where people who are cultured are laughed at. And you see, cultured people now want to be street people. Cultured people now want to show that they know the latest street slangs and they know the street behaviors. They want to be bad boys. So I think it's a social orientation. It should be done in school very early. People should be taught that being a gentleman, being cultured, being respect. And if you look at the generation coming behind us, they lack respect for elders. They lack respect for people generally. So they say it has, they feel it. They say that they feel it because they tell you, as far as it makes me happy, that kind of a statement.
Yeah.
So we need to really do social orientation. We need to let people know that being respectful, being cultured is the way to go. It's the way to go.
All right. Thank you very much. It is a pleasure getting KDB, the man of the people, join us this morning on Hello Port Harcourt. You want to tune in later on the day from 3 to 7 for the hardest of hard facts. Carla, thank you for 6. I thank God for Ifeanyi. He has turned you into an English teacher. But do you know that poison in English is different from poisson in French? And it has two different meanings, though spelled the same way. So why can't we say in Nigeria, tout is known as lout in English, OVA in PH? But I think I've said that several times. 92.3, hello Port Harcourt, good morning to you.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, welcome.
Yeah. Are you aware that Nigeria have their own English and meaning?
Yes, we do.
Fine. So if you ask me, I would say that both the lout and tout, they are the same thing in action. Even if the meaning seems to be different, but the action, the activities, the dealings, mentality, and characters surrounding these two English, lout and tout, is the same. So whichever way or whatever way we consider it, or let me say, consider it. I think they are of the same behavior.
Okay, so let me ask you, if they are the same behavior, right? In this context that you have described them, right? How then can we start to curb the menace in Port Harcourt?
It is by using our own real life, genuine behavior, because defining or refining these two words, you will see that they are negative in nature. They are negative in nature. So you and I know that whatever thing that is negative in nature seems to be corrected. So until we correct our mindset in the negative part of our character and nature, that is when we call these two words, lout and tout.
And tout.
I don't know if you get me.
Oh, loud and clear. Thank you very much. So it has to be a redefinition. We have to retrain. Kara says it's social engineering. What say you? 92.3, good morning. Welcome. Hello, Port Harcourt.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning to you.
Me is Clement.
Welcome, Clement. Pleasure to have you join us.
When you were giving autonomous definition, one president candidate comes in mind somewhere in the year of who it house is. And you made mention of the CDC from the ex-local government chairman. Even ex-excellency in River State. You know, when I see the U.S. candidate, how he talks and how some of our big talk here, I just put them under that WhatsApp group. However, Mr. Jude.
Yes, please.
The question is, how do we curb it? How do we curb it, right? I know a committee in River State. If two people are fighting on the streets, they will be arrested. They will be taken to the palace. We don't want to know who find trouble. Two of them will buy goods for the community. Just fighting on the street.
You will buy goods?
You will buy goods.
Wow.
And I have lived in that community for a very long time. And the day I learned about this was when I think the daughter was respecting the mother or something like that. The daughter bought goats. The young girl bought goats. And that was when I learned that what the community has come to say, that whether you are a stranger or you are an individual of that community, you don't cause trouble around that community. And it is this same community that the bridge that the government built, all the barbed wires are still intact. Those triangles you see, they are still intact. Nobody has moved it. They are not wee beside the bridge or wee on the road in this same community. Everybody in that community, their head is straight. Unlike other communities where they have bridges and the barbed wires have been gone, those rectangles, we win everywhere. In this same River State, I'm not talking about another place.
Yeah.
So is it possible? Yes, so it is possible. But when the people come together and say, this is what we want, it will work. That is what I know. And it is possible because it is happening in the communities here in River State.
Okay. So thank you very much. So Clement says it's feasible that these unruly behavior can actually be quelled. It can actually be curbed because he says there is a community, right, that does that. If you fight on the road, for example, you pay goats. I would like to visit that. I'm sure people eat a lot of goats. Or maybe they don't. Yeah, because goats are not cheap. WhatsApp 009-030-6416. 009-030-6416. That's how we get to right now on our WhatsApp platform. Good morning, Jude. Touts are used by those in higher authorities because of their smartness. Courage. Is this smartness? I don't think it's smart. I think only a semi-senile individual gets to be manipulated to carry out dirty work, for somebody else. I don't know. What do I know? Sometimes they are perceived physical strength and popularity despite their lack of manners. So their work and function in the streets cannot be done by mere gentlemen. And thus curbing them is not very possible, although they can and should be avoided by gentlemen and ladies of sustenance because of their steez. Okay, all right. Okay, for sustenance of their steez, rather. All right, Prince from Alu. All right, Prince, thank you very much. All right, you have to keep your steez, so you avoid them. Jude, most of our politicians lack culture of words. Some of them lack parental upbringing. All right? And says, for example, some of the local government chairmen in past years, with their various academic degrees, don't make them responsible. Okay. All right. Strong words this morning. Sorry about that drop call. All right, let's get to Facebook, right? At Nigeriainfo, PH at Nigeriainfo. PH is where you find us on Facebook and on X at Nigeriainfo. PH at Nigeriainfo. PH. Kingsley Njoku says, the increase enforcement against illegal vending and tout activities. Provide alternative market spaces or platforms for vendors. That sounds like a policy change, right? Okay, all right. Seems like a fair deal. Sounds like a policy change. Who would have thunk it? Really? You guys, knew so much about Agberus. Sorry about that. All right, messages now. 0809030 6416. 0809030 6416. That's the WhatsApp number. Send us a message and we'll have a conversation. All right. Hello, Port Harcourt. Good morning to you. Oh dear. I think maybe it's the same person that's been calling. So let's try another number. If you want to call us, 0817 923 0003. 0817 923 0007. All right. I'm very sure with these two numbers, I'm sure we can have a decent conversation on this subject matter. Nigeriainfo Nigeriainfo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
My name is Promise. I'm calling from Market Junction.
Go on, Promise. Talk to us.
Okay, I get in the studio.
There's no guest in the studio, sir. Hello, 923. Good morning.
Good morning, Jude.
Good morning, please.
Yeah, how are you?
Very well. Welcome, please.
I think they qualify to be synonyms to start with. Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. Some persons, like my friend Canada has mentioned orientation, buttress orientation. Well, I want to look at reformatory systems. Okay, because however you look at it, sir, this is a psychosocial misnomer. It's a psychosocial abnormality, going by the attributes of both persons, whether touts or louts.
All outs, okay.
So, lout. So I want to think that if we strengthen our reformatory system, for example, you know that, Jude, the Nigerian prison ought to be a correctional center, isn't it?
Yes, please.
Good. But from the experiences of those who go in and out of that place, there is little or no correctional measure. As a matter of fact, people go in there and come out worse. Because the touting, in my view, is a crime. I think so. So when these people are arrested, and handed over to law enforcement agents, what happens? Is anybody thinking of, coming up with reformatory measures to make sure that these the way with these abnormal behaviors? If we think that punishment alone or orientation alone can
that's
do it,
kinetic measures, yeah.
I doubt. Yes. So let's also explore reformatory measures, mechanisms, techniques,
Okay.
Maybe that will go a long way. Because it does exist, like you said, whether it is in the UK or in America or here in Africa. But most of these countries, advanced countries, have reformatory mechanisms. Don't forget the story of Mike
Tyson.
What's the name of this boxer, please?
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. Don't forget that he was more or less a tout. He was more or less a street fighter. Good. So until he was identified, and then they had to rechannel the whole of his energies, and the rest they say is history.
Okay, well said. Well said. Thank you very much. Who would have thought that Mike Tyson would come into our conversations? All right, fantastic morning to you guys. Thank you very much. We'll be back after this break with power update from about 5 minutes past the hour of 10 o'clock after the news updates. All right, so you guys have touts in your offices. Wow.